It's people way far away from you making decisions about your health care. And I don't think that's okay at all. And I think that you should rise up and begin to look into that and begin to ponder some of this for yourself and say, what am I actually getting? What am I getting out of this relationship? And is it worth my long-term health? Is 9.6 minutes, is that all I'm worth? And I hope you are saying, no, Lucy, I'm worth way more than that, because I already think you are. Hey everyone, I'm Lucy Douglas, and I'm a family nurse practitioner, and I'm owner and CEO of New Beginnings Wellness Center and Spa in Ruston, Louisiana. In January of 2019, I made a very important and kind of a terrifying decision to move away from the traditionally accepted and known insurance model, and I transitioned into a fee-for-service and membership model here at New Beginnings as a form of reimbursement for the services that I provide. And I still have people, even though it's been, closer to 2 years now that I've been operating in that paradigm, the people still, question it and need a little bit more information to feel kind of comfortable coming and investing their hard-earned resources into this very unique relationship that I establish with each patient. So I thought I would do a video and just share some of that behind the scenes thinking with you, so that your eyes might be opened, that you might understand that you should have the freedom, the autonomy, the flexibility to choose your provider and to choose that relationship and how you would like that done. That you should be able to choose what tests and labs you would like to have done, and also how much time you would like to spend with your provider. You should be the one dictating that, not stuffy suits in a boardroom somewhere that have never met you and never will meet you. And most of those people, by the way, are not healthcare professionals. They're talking heads, they're bean counters, and they are not particularly concerned about you and your long-term health and well-being. So when I was in nurse practitioner school, and I was required to spend many hundreds of hours precepting in various settings, and the longest time that I spent was about 7 to 9 months in a family medicine setting, where I was with a family physician and being trained and mentored in my role as a nurse practitioner. And it was a very valuable experience, and I'm thankful for it. But one thing that kind of had an epiphany, if you will, in very shortly into that I was kind of appalled at, first of all, the number of people that were being seen each day, and on average, the amount of time that was being spent with these patients. And if we give the benefit of the doubt that most family providers are working about an 8-hour day, so that would be 480 minutes, and perhaps they're seeing anywhere in the neighborhood of about 50 people, sometimes a little less, and sometimes even more than that. I know that's shocking, but it is actually true. And so that would work out to be about 9.6 minutes per encounter. And I want you to just think about that a minute. I want you to ponder that, and I want you to ask yourself, is 9.6 minutes enough to determine my health, my well-being, and to promote my longevity? And I know in some instances, that little bit of time might indeed be appropriate for some very simple acute need. But what I found and observed, and what I know to be the case with what's happening in the health of the people of our country, I would say that's dismal and despicable, and it's not near enough time to coach, to counsel, to educate, to love, support, and kick the butt of, when necessary, people, so that you can understand what's going on with your environment and learn how to change that environment to more predict a healthy outcome. So I think it was during those months in that setting that I became awakened to the thought of having my own practice. And so fast forward to the point when New Beginnings was born, and I knew going into that nurse practitioners already across the board receive a 15% reduction in reimbursement than those of our physician counterparts. And we know that and we accept that, those of us who move into private practice. And so I opened New Beginnings knowing I was going to receive less reimbursement, but I was still determined to do care the way I thought it should be done. So I was a stickler about how many people I would see a day, and I was still focusing on the amount of time that I felt like each person needed, and not basing that decision on the amount of reimbursement I was going to receive for that visit. But what you need to know as the consumer is that providers are not typically rewarded for spending more time with people. We're actually almost penalized, and that is difficult when there are bills to be paid. There is a living that needs to be made, certainly, and so that makes it an even greater challenge to find the balance of still providing quality care, but also being able to keep the lights on and pay a staff and still be here for the people that need me. So I did very well, and I functioned within those limitations. And then several years into that, I realized that not only was I receiving 15% less reimbursement as an NP, but I then found out I was receiving an additional 15% reduction because I was using an out-of-network lab for my patients. Now, I will say to you, the patients were informed, they were told of this arrangement, and they were given an option to choose. But the reason I worked with this out-of-network lab, it's Cleveland Heart Lab, very well known and respected in the industry, but they offered me a very broad menu of 21st century testing that I wasn't at that time being offered through traditional labs that were in network with Blue Cross. So I was basically patted on the hand and told, no, 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 you may not use an out-of-network lab, even though it's what the patient wanted. So that's just not okay with me. Again, it's people way far away from you making decisions about your health care, and I don't think that's okay at all. And I think that you should rise up and begin to look into that and begin to ponder some of this for yourself and say, what am I actually getting? What am I getting out of this relationship? And is it worth my long-term health? Is 9.6 minutes, is that all I'm worth? And I hope you are saying, no, Lucy, I'm worth way more than that, because I already think you are. And so that's a lot of what went into making that decision to move away from that model so that my patient and I would then have the flexibility, the autonomy, and we would just be able to come to a decision between us about what that patient needed and what they wanted and how they wanted to go about reaching their health goals. And that, to me, is what every relationship should look like, and that we should all have skin in the game. I think this mindset of us rolling up into a healthcare provider's office and being indignant that we have to open up our checkbook or get out our debit card, I think that's, I'm sorry, it's asinine. I think that we should be willing to invest in this one beautiful body that we have that's going to carry us and help us fulfill our destiny. Let's think about this for a minute. Think about the car you're driving right now. I could venture a guess and say that most of us have a pretty hefty 5-figure investment in our automobiles, and that we go into that relationship with the intent of most of us, that people that I know, we're going to pay that note off and we're going to drive that sucker till the wheels fall off of it, because that is an expensive investment. But yet along the way, we're taking care of that investment, aren't we? We're getting oil changes on a regular basis. We're filling up our cars with quality gasoline. We're taking it for rotating and balancing of tires. We're doing all of those things to keep that thing safe and comfortable to carry us around. And you know what we don't do? We don't file a claim to State Farm every time we get an oil change, do we? Go like this. No, we do not. Can you imagine The chaos that would ensue if we actually were treating the auto insurance industry the same way that we treat the health insurance industry. Think about that for a minute. You go into a relationship with your automobile with the expectation that you are responsible for the care and maintenance of that thing, that your insurance is only to protect you in the event of a catastrophic, unforeseen, hideous event, right? Yeah, that's exactly what car insurance is for. Why isn't health insurance designed the same way? Where we all have skin in the game, where we are responsible for our care and maintenance, and then that insurance covers us in the event of something unforeseen and catastrophic. And I think that would change the mindset. I think that would change a lot of behavior. I think that that would cut costs dramatically if we all had that mindset that I, Lucy, am responsible for this physical body. And that I have skin in the game, that I need to learn how to advocate for myself, and that I need to enter into a relationship with a healthcare professional that I feel that I have a lot in common with, that I feel that we are on the same level and share the same vision and passion, and that person's going to help me reach my goals. And so that is a lot of the thinking and behind the scenes agony, if you will, that went into making that decision. I knew that I was going to lose patients, and that was really why I took so long to pull the trigger, if you will, because I had to look myself in the mirror and go, Lucy, have you built relationships for the past 6 years? Have you established a base? Have you built a reputation? Do people perceive what you do for them as valuable? And are they going to be willing to then put their money where their mouth is? And are they going to stick with you? And I'm so thankful and proud to say that many have. And we have moved forward from that day in January of 19, and we are still rocking and rolling. And I'm so excited to work with people who invest in themselves, who want to direct their care, who want to be the ones making the choices about who they see, how long they get to see them, what tests and treatments do we use, and that then we get to really speak to that future. We get to look for problems before they become problems, and we get to address things. We're not in a 9.6 minute encounter for a chronic disease that can literally kill us, and patients are leaving those 9 minutes and they have no earthly idea about really what's wrong, how they got in that position to begin with, how they can better take care of themselves, and no one is having the seed planted, hey, guess what? You know you can reverse that, right? No one's being told that. They come into my office, maybe they're on blood pressure medicine, and they'll say to me, Lucy, I was told that I'm going to have to be on this forever. And I'll look at them and say, how badly do you want to get off of it? I can't predict anyone's outcome, but why should we not strive for that? Why should we not work towards that goal of, if there is evidence of chronic disease, that we undo it and we go a different direction? But in that traditional setting, there's not the time, the energy, or the thinking actually given to that. The patients aren't being told that that's possible. And so you've been set up for failure, and you expect the Z-Pack. You expect the instant gratification of, I woke up this morning with a sniffle, I need a steroid shot, and I need a Z-Pack because I don't want to sniffle. And so I'm here to tell you that that mentality is what's killing us as a country, and that we should all rise up and be furious about it, and we should say no more. But we need to have healthcare professionals that you can enter into a relationship with, and where they have the flexibility and the ability to spend time with people, because that's where change is going to have the opportunity to begin, is when a relationship has been established and I have the ability to spend time with people and get to know them, hear their history, and then put together an individualized plan that will help them accomplish their goals. And I'm sorry to say that that cannot easily and successfully happen under the current health paradigm of that treat and street, show up with the symptom and get a prescription and leave, and you never have stopped to think about, what do I need to do to make myself better? So I hope that you feel more enlightened after hearing me share some of my thinking that led to this kind of crazy decision, and that I hope that you would perceive that there is indeed value when you make that investment, that you are actually receiving something pretty awesome in return. You're receiving your life, your health, the health of your family, and that you get to fulfill your dreams and goals and live a long, healthy, vibrant life on a mountain somewhere, not with ugly hair and ugly shoes in a long-term care setting someday, not knowing who you are or what day it is. If you think and can believe that you have the power over that, then you should strive for that and expect that whatever healthcare professional that you choose to work with is going to help you specifically accomplish that. So I want you to stand up. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to tell yourself how fabulous you are, and you deserve more than 9.6 minutes to direct your life, your path, and your health. So go out there and have a good day, and I hope to see you soon.